Well, for my complete results, they was pretty drastic in my opinion. And when I go to talk about this, the lock-in series, my journey actually started a little bit before. I would say hardcore, I guess, in April is when I decided to. So it was a little bit longer, but from the very beginning, from April when I decided to now, as far as weight loss, I went down about 40 pounds. I was always hovering around that 238 to 242 mark right in there. And pre-wedding, I was at 199. And so I was right about that 40-pound mark. And like I said, the weight loss wasn't always the goal, but that's a huge, if you can lose weight when you're overweight, that's a plus in anything you do. But what I strived for was my overall health and just my medical conditions. I'm 22 years old. I struggled with high blood sugar, high blood pressure, cholesterol, fatty liver disease. Like all that was just building up, and my numbers they weren't just bad, they were through the roof. Like I was told, before I'm 30, I'm probably gonna have a heart attack, stroke, and so thought something had changed. But the final results were incredible because I put my A1C, it was at 7.0, which is, it's not as high as you can get, but it's pretty high. And I got all the way down to 5.7 just in that span, about 3 months. And 5.7, that's right at that pre-diabetic to non-diabetic line. Like they said I had no signs of diabetes shown, which is because of how I got it down. All my cholesterol blood work, it all came back perfect. And the liver enzymes, although they're still raised, they're going down and they're heading in the right direction. That's just something that takes a little bit more time to do. So overall, the results, I think they turned out pretty good. I mean, you couldn't ask for much more in that short of a span, in my opinion.
Results-wise, I think all in all, I've dropped roughly 10 pounds. I started this lock-in at about 192. I recently weighed myself at 185, and now I'm kind of estimating on the weight. I think it's more like 182 right now. The results were good. I'm not going to say I was surprised, because I know that if I just ever stuck to it and actually put my head down and focused on my training and my diet, I would get good results. And that's exactly what happened. So the results I couldn't be happier with. I think the main takeaway though is the mental results that I've gotten. Like I'm just more clear thinking mentally. I'm more confident in myself, my abilities, my physical abilities. I just have a lot more confidence, and it just affects other areas in your life. It's good to have that self-confidence in yourself. And I think that's just the biggest takeaway for me.
Yeah, if I could go back and do it again, I would, because we always want to think that, and my problem was, my relationship with food was just something, hey, I love food, I'm going to eat it. There's a saying, everybody's going to die, and I realized that, and my saying was, you just might die healthy, okay? And while that may be true, that's a bad way to look at things, because, in reality, you love people here. So if I had to go back and do it again, it's 100% secure, because, you look at the process and what's already happened in the short amount of time, and, that's only going to grow. Like I said, it's a lifestyle thing, and this is for the whole future. This wasn't just for me. This was for my future family. If I have kids, my wife, it's for them, because those are moments that you're going to want when you're older. You can't have those moments when you have problems like that. And it was for the Lord too. Our body's a temple. He dwells in us, and we've been given one body here on earth. We're supposed to take care of it. And if I could just tell myself then, I guess I would just say, just lock in, man. It's not that it's discipline, and that's all it is. But you lean on the Lord, you pray daily, and you stick to it. You're not going to see the results immediately, but if you ask me, if I go all the way back to April, 3 months to see all the results I've seen, that's insane. What you do in 3 months, just carry that out. What are you going to do in a year? Just stay locked in and stay consistent. It's doable.
If I could go back and talk to myself before the challenge, man, I would just say, first of all, put the crumble down. I would say put the crumble down, big guy, because you don't need it as bad as you think you do. Does it taste good? Absolutely. That's all I'm thinking about right now. But put the crumble down and just focus on your diet, your training, and losing body fat, losing weight, because you've wanted to do that all your life. You know what I mean? I've always been, I've mentioned this several times throughout the process, and I've mentioned it even tonight. I've always been the guy who's kind of been on the fence, teeter-tottering from about 195 to 200. Sometimes we'll get down to 193, and then the next day I'm back up to 196 because I had a cheat meal. So finally being able to get over that hump and get over that plateau was awesome, and I would say that it was worth it. You know, I would tell myself, this is worth it, do it. And do it not only for the physical benefits, do it for the spiritual benefits, the mental benefits, everything. It's crazy how much taking care of yourself can affect in a positive way. I mean, it completely changed my mindset and everything. The amount of discipline that it took to do what we did, us three as a whole, it's astonishing. You know, to for lack of a better term, I mean, that's a big word for me, but it was crazy, you know, the amount of discipline that it took for us to accomplish what we did. And so I think it's important for us to apply that to other aspects of our lives, and that's what I plan to do. So I would tell Tyler 2 or 3 months ago, put the crumble down, focus on this, because in the long run, man, it's going to benefit you a lot. So yeah, I mean, this process, when we first started it, I didn't really know what it was going to look like. I didn't know if I could stay locked in for that long on my diet, because in the past I've been good about my diet, but there's always been that roadblock of the cheat meals. That's always been my thing, the cheat meals every Friday night. And I didn't honestly know if I could go without those cheat meals for that long. In the duration of the, month and a half to 2 months that we were, locked in, which went beyond recording time, I cheated one time, maybe, you know what I mean? So I was proud of that, once or twice. That's not normal for me, you know me. I mean, I can cheat twice in a week and think that I'm doing good. So what I learned about myself was that I can lock in, that I can stay diligent and stay disciplined enough to actually put health as a priority over the cravings. Discipline is a tough thing, you know what I mean? It really is. Discipline's tough because you have to really want it, and I didn't know if I wanted it bad enough at the time we started this, and I found out that I did, and I found out a lot about myself beyond just the the physical side of things. The discipline, I want to apply that to all things in life, you know what I mean? Discipline is a very good skill to have, and a very good attribute to have, really. I think it's something that can be taught. It's hard to learn that, but it can be taught. I've been pretty proud of the progress that I've made. Yeah, so what's next for me? Diet-wise, I'm going to continue to kind of do what I've been doing, My plan is to keep dieting down to a weight, a look that I'm happy with, that I'm satisfied with, because, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're not doing it for yourself, you're not going to be able to get it done. If you do it for other people and the validation of other people, you're not going to be able to get it done. So I'm going to keep going until I'm fully happy, fully satisfied. After that, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to have the biggest cheat meal, biggest cheat day ever, just for one day. The cheat meals and cheat days, those were every week. You can't do that. You can do those once a month or so, something like that, but I'm going to just completely go all out. And I'm looking forward to it, I'm not gonna lie. But that's gonna be later on down the road. That'll probably be more mid-August when that happens. And after that, man, I'm not gonna call it a bulk, but it's time for me to put on some size. The reason I want to get down to this certain body fat percentage is so that I can have room to put on more muscle, because in the past I've been between the cutting and bulking range where I'll cut, I won't cut enough, and then I'll start bulking, and I'll bulk until I get too big, and it's hard to cut all that weight down. So it's just been kind of a spiral for a long time. So I'm going to try to kind of get out of that flow. But man, to go back to the last question really quick, I've learned that I love the gym. I've learned that I'm willing to work out every day, and that's something that I really truly love to do. And I've gotten used to going to the gym, doing my cardio, and it's just been part of my day. So now I kind of have to do that, or else I go insane. I start really like it's a vital part of my day. So I've learned that moving forward, the gym is going to be a big part of my life, and that no matter how busy I am, I need to find time for myself to get that physical activity in. So I'm going to keep doing that. I might go on more runs. I really do enjoy running. I didn't think I would, but I get around that summertime and I always go on my runs and I start running and I like it. I'm going to try not to stop this time. I'm going to try to keep the runs going through the fall and through the winter, and we'll just see, man. I'm excited to see where life takes me. I've got a few things coming up, in my life where I'll be traveling around, going different places, doing different things, and the Lord's blessed me with some really cool opportunities, especially here recently. So I'm excited to see how all that unfolds. But in the midst of all that, I want to still make sure that I'm, being physically active and also applying this newfound discipline to my faith as well, because I feel like I've not done a good enough job of that in the past.
That's the thing. We see a physical change in somebody and we're like, man, that's crazy that they was able to do that. But you can't have physical change unless you have a mentality change, and that's what it's got to lock into. And it all starts there. You can say you're going to do this and say you're going to do that, but until you flip the switch and that it becomes a true mentality, you're not going to be able to accomplish it. And mentally, there's days where it's, you're sitting there thinking like, I'm pretty tired. That was something that I was learning. The energy lost for a little bit was because your body wants that energy, it wants that food. And like I said, sometimes you got to listen to your body, sometimes you got to tell your body shut up. And mentally, that's where people that they cave into their desires, whatever that may be. And food's a big one. You hear some people say you got to divorce food. I don't like that. I don't like the idea of divorce, so I don't like that saying. So you go to therapy and you retrain your relationship with food is what I like. Mentally, you have those down days, but what you got to find is whatever you lean towards as your rock, as your supporter. Like for me, Christ was huge. You pray about it, especially because life happens. You got a lot of stuff going on. There's all kinds of stressful situations, and you got to be able to find your peaceful place, and you got to remember what you're doing this for. There's got to be a bigger purpose. If you find a petty purpose, you're setting yourself up for failure, I feel like, immediately. So mentally, you got to be, I know it's easy to say this, but just strong-headed and know what you're doing it for. And as far as the future, I feel like the start's the hard part. It's hard to start because you don't see results immediately. It's easy to sit here 40 pounds down and all my stuff coming down. It's easy now. So in the future, that's what keeps you accountable. The startup and you seeing the progress. You see that progress being made, you're going to want to continue that in the future because you know it works, you know it can be done. So in the future, like I talked about a lot in the series, like this is a lifestyle change. This is not a one-off. This wasn't done for a series. This was done for my lifestyle, and we just happened to put it on video. So going forward, I'm going to have fun. Life is life. I'm not going to cut everything out that I love. This last week I had cheesecake. I had it after the wedding. It was left over. I was still indulged, and guess what? I didn't gain 50 pounds overnight. I'm not. My A1C is not 8.0 overnight. So enjoy those moments because, like I said, I'm doing it for my family, for the future. You can do everything you want for that, but if you don't enjoy the moments with them, it don't mean nothing. So you can be successful and still have fun in life and be healthy.
Anybody out there that's struggling, just take that step. Take that first step. Change your diet, change your eating habits, change your activity level, and get in the groove. It'll take about 1 or 2 weeks, but once you get there, it'll become your normal day-to-day life. I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's a lifestyle change, like Keaton has mentioned multiple times. It's a lifestyle change. It's not just I'm gonna do this for 2 or 3 weeks and then get off of it. This is changing our eating habits. It's changing everything that we're doing, and it's helping our body, it's helping our minds, and in turn that helps our spirit, which is the most important thing in your life. So lock in.